What's up, YouTube? How is everybody doing tonight? If my internet cuts out during this, I apologize. We got
Welcome to
for
Mobile Legends.
I think the first time ever a tornado watch
5 seconds till the enemy reaches the
South
battlefield.
America. I
Smash
live
them.
in Chile, in the southern part
All
of Chile,
troops deployed.
and we are definitely not used to this. In Texas for quite a long time, so not really new to me, but yeah. Alright, guys, quick example here of what I feel Brawl mode is good for. Because Brawl mode, as a game mode, it's not really so much good for practicing for the main game. Really, for the main game, what you want to practice is just that it's the main game. But some things it does teach you quite well, I feel, are how to fight in group. You know, a lot of team fighting going on always. And how valuable it is to stay alive. We're a minute and 4 in, and as you can see, my teammates dropping like flies. And that's not necessary. We have a very pokey team. We got a Bruno, we got a Harris, we got me. I'm the Harris, and we got a Nana. So we had more than the possibility to just keep them at bay. Their team isn't exactly not pokey, but definitely they're not poke based like we are. So, just a few things to always keep in mind when playing Brawl, Survival, Classic. You know, don't be as scared to get in their face. Also, do not be afraid to keep your distance. Mind you, whenever I get Harith in Brawl, I usually win. I usually get MVP. But regardless of whether I believe that's going to happen in the match or not, what I always try to do is I try to use my map awareness to keep moving. I know that they favor that top bush up there, so I try to engage with it as much as possible. And the bottom bush should actually be being kept by our Nana, but she didn't have her little ward doll thing down there. What's up, Nana? So, you know, she's mainly keeping that in the middle. That's not the worst strategy in the world, but, you know, it's I feel like that's not what it's meant for. It's meant for brush control, and she wasn't using it to maybe the extent that she could have been using it for. But, you know, I enjoyed this match. This was a pretty competitive match for being Brawl mode. As you can see, our team, you know, they could be doing this much better. We're pushing way too hard, and even though we're capitalizing on it, you know, by the time I show up, they were scattered. If we had pushed when I had arrived, here's a glitch I've been having, by the way, guys. If you can't run through the bush and you happen to follow me and you know how to get rid of that bug, I always have it in Brawl mode. Thankfully, it's only in Brawl mode, so I haven't done anything extreme like delete and re-download, because we all know this game can get pretty hefty when you first download it. It's not a small game. But see, unified push. Now, you know, I'm using my main, and I'm not going crazy here. I'm 2, 2, and 4. I'm going in favoring, like I've taught y'all before, a slow build. I've only got my boots and something for life sustain. That's it. I'm not wasting my gold. See there, I was immediately able to buy my belt, which is such a huge part of my build that it's indispensable, you know? I need that in order to really get going with Harith. And that this is just the clinical example. You know, we did really good in this match. I feel like our Nana could have used her, I want to call them voodoo dolls. I know they're not, but they transform you if you touch them, so we could call them voodoo dolls, right? That's probably just being silly.
Shut down.
Alright. I do hope these videos are helping y'all improve and giving you ideas on how to do things. Now, my ulti here doesn't quite do what I want it to do,
Shut down.
but I was able to keep the enemy at bay.
An enemy
I was
has been
definitely
slain.
over focusing that tank, but I felt like I could take him, and well, I did. I kept him at bay and definitely gave him a 1-2 punch right there. We also obviously had to our favor that none of them seemed to be
You have been slain.
really,
An enemy
really
has been slain.
very pro at their character. They had going for them, let's see,
Wiped
their
out.
Alice was okay, their tank was okay, their Adora was doing pretty good actually, and then their support, okay I guess, yeah. You know, our marksman could have been slightly more on point, but I think he picks it up a little bit later in the match.
Ally has been slain. Launch attack. An ally has been slain.
So I was thinking, for my next
Shut
video,
down.
I want to show y'all who I want to start using. It's not a new mage, it's a new mage for me.
An enemy has been
It's
slain.
Harley. I've been poking around,
Launch attack.
really wanting to get back into ranked, because for a while there I was
Killing
playing
spree.
a lot of ranked, and then with moving houses and everything that I've had
You have slain an
going
enemy.
on and whatnot in my life, I just haven't had the focus for rank, because I've had time for
Mega
rank,
kill.
but definitely not the focus. And without that, you can see me missing simple shots and things
An
like that
enemy
still.
has been slain.
But
Wiped
I actually
out.
have
Team
some
destroy the
footage
turret.
of a match that I believe I did with Harley Saved from a couple hours ago. Maybe we'll take a peek at that. Let me know what y'all think. But the problem with Harris, even though he's a
An ally has been
he's a
slain.
very strong
An enemy has been slain.
competitor, a very strong hero, you know,
Unstoppable.
very highly able to carry a match, he's usually banned in the higher matches, and obviously that very much complicates things for me,
Launch
because
attack.
the hero that I'm using as my main is permabanned.
Launch attack.
Everywhere from, I believe it's Grandmaster up, which is when you start
You have slain an enemy.
banning heroes in order to play the ranked
Mega
matches.
kill. Wiped out.
They actually
Launch
almost
attack.
pulled this back right here. The pushback that they do
Initiate
here
retreat.
is pretty decent. You know, I turn tail and run. I came here, get these little bugs out of the way. It's amazing how many times you'll be doing this and one of your own teammates will steal them from you. I always find that so
Ally
rude.
has been slain.
Beyond rude, it's just
Initiate
it's
retreat.
it's counterproductive. You know, you see me doing damage, you see me doing well, you come and you steal my life. Why? I'm trying to help. I'm definitely gonna have a hard time adjusting to a different character though,
Shut
because with Harif, I'm just used to being able to just jump in,
down. An enemy has been
really
slain. Ally has
tank
been
my way
slain.
through things with the damage that I do,
Double kill.
and being able to make myself quite tanky as well. Grok, I think, was that tank he was engaging with. I also was considering him being my new tank, just because I've had some, not a whole lot of experience with him, and seems to be a fairly fun character. You know, Harris fun. Don't get me wrong. I want to move into the next segment of the game more competitively, and it seems my buddy Harris is not going to be able to follow me
Killing
there.
spree.
Sure, he won't be banned like 100% of the time, but to my experience and to what I've been reading,
An enemy has been
I guess
slain.
really can't speak to my experience yet, because I'm not
Shut down.
at that level, but
Triple kill.
from what I've been reading and watching videos on, I'm slightly disappointed in the fact that Harif might not be able to follow me into
Wiped out. Shut
my new
down.
venture, to be saying it like that. But I'll probably put that in another video. Um, I do have Harley gameplay to show you. Um, if anything, let's just take a peek at the the Harley gameplay that I have, because I feel like watching these side by side will definitely give us some perspective. Good job Bruno on here this time, by the way. Look at that. He did, wow, he did a lot of damage, guys. That's what you want to see on your team, It's what you want to see from the marksman on your team. I saved a few replays today. Oh, no, I don't have the Harley one. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Mind you, I am going to watch this video before uploading it to see, because this is supposed to be a short video on how to play. I keep wanting to get to call it what it was called in the league. This is funny. Brawl mode. There you go. Alright, so 14-minute gameplay, so let's speed this up some,
5 seconds till the enemy reaches the battlefield. Smash them.
Alright. So this is Harley. Harley's also a mage. He reminds me a lot of my first main in the game that shan't be named. And I dig him. He's fun. He's a magician. He's a bit egomaniacal, from what I can tell from the things that the characters say when they play. I'm okay with that, though. A little cockiness never hurt nobody, just as long as you don't get carried away with it. Now, my first power, which is that infernal card throwing, yeah, that's really cool. I feel like that has an infinite amount of poke capability to it. And I am going to miss my shield, though, because when I'm running as Harris, you can continuously see me using my second power to push on people. Here we go again. Now our team was doing really good here. We're playing very aggressive, keeping ourselves centralized. Really not running many risks here. We're keeping together. We're keeping nice and tightly knit. Having trouble Englishing there, but I do suffer from that from time to time. Those cards, they really reach far. I feel like they have an incredible range. There you go. Now, mind you, this is a longer match, but this is just on us on their case the entire time. Look at that. That's like halfway across the map that these cards are going. So, definitely thinking about making the leap to Harley. I don't know if I have them unlocked yet. I believe not. But I think I at least have a trial card. Because, also, worth mentioning, trying a character out in Brawl mode, to get, like, an idea of him in the 15 to 12 minute mark, I would say. Maybe 9 to 10 minute mark as well. In a normal match, sure. Because this is a team fight, but everybody levels up really quickly in Brawl mode because you're consistently just fighting. You're always fighting for survival. You're always killing. You're always being killed, and it's a much faster game pace. Go ahead and fast forward a bit here. Mind you, I did not do bad with this hero for him having been a hero that I've used very few times. The first time that I used Harley, I think it was the first 2 or 3 times actually that I used Harley, because I had a 3-day trial card, were probably some of the worst matches that I've ever had. But I feel like I handled myself. I definitely feel like I handled myself a lot better this time around. Not implying, as you can see in my build here, I'm micro buying, which I normally don't do. I try to avoid the micro buy at all times. For the simple sake that buying full build items is just much better. There I was able to make the jump to my full build item. I'll be back in a few seconds. Alright. So what do you guys think? Should I make the jump to training with a different character? Because I stopped buying characters. I bought 3 characters in this game. It was Leslie, Harith, and I can't recall the third. But they were all 32,000, and from what I have understood of the game, finishing leveling up your equipment is much more important. Your runes, or whatever they're called, that's your bread and butter. That's what's gonna make you hit harder, move faster, have more lifesteal. So, any new players out there that are still trying to figure out who their first buy is gonna be to sort of change their gameplay experience, don't buy anybody. That's my honest to God advice. Don't buy a single character. You don't need to. It's not going to overly benefit you. You need to work on your runes and work on your gameplay. Rotate with the weekly rotations. There's always going to be one of each, I believe, is what I've seen in each rotation. There's one mage, there's one shooter, there's one tank, there's one assassin, and the game actually gives you free characters. At least in the time that I've been playing, it's given me 1 or 2 free characters now. I believe we all start with Lila, because that's like the first character I would assume. That was day 1 creation 1.
An ally has been slain. Shut down.
And
Initiate retreat.
then we had just recently ago a support class mage for free. Name is on the tip of my tongue, but not rolling off, so let's just enjoy these cards. See, these cards, guys, these cards are crazy. I feel like, you may as well be slightly cheating with these cards, because they reach so far, and they pack so much of a punch, that it's silly. So, like I said, 7, 6, 16, I'm not doing bad with this character at all. His hat trick is cool. His ulti, I don't know exactly how much. Oh wow, it did a lot of damage. I hadn't been able to watch that yet. Did quite a lot of damage. I know it's going to be slightly difficult to flip over to a different character, because I've been playing Harith for the latter part of 2 or 3 months now. So it's not going to be an easy switch. I recognize that, but I think it's going to have to be something I'm going to have to accommodate myself to, because if the character that I do play is on permaban basically always, what's the point? I mean, I'll still practice with him periodically because it's the character I mainly want to use, but I gotta be realistic here. If I can't use him in rank, I'll never advance. And I do want, my end game for this is not only the YouTube channel that's arisen from my newfound obsession with Mobile Legends, but the end game for me is really competitive gaming. I would like to be good enough to go ahead and go to the small tournaments, go to the medium tournaments, go to the big tournaments, and go for the dream, which is to win at a championship and really prove that you are the best in that medium. Mobile game is at a place where it's considered, for a while now, a real, true competitive medium, and I feel like this is something I can advance on. So, I kind of rushed through the second part, as y'all saw. I want to get to the data screen to show you something that I noticed that's helping me emphasize on the idea to go ahead and try Harley out. I was not MVP, but I feel like I did a decent job, and there's why. My hero damage was sitting at a neat 20%. Not bad at all for a hero I've used maybe 2 or 3 times. Damage taken, I feel like I was floating like a butterfly and stinging like a bee there. And the turret damage output that I got out, well, if we round it up, it'd be 60%. Okay? And I made a decent chunk of gold. I could have probably farmed better. I was no Melodious Destruct or Destroyador over here that did 91% damage to the towers on our side from his side of the team, but what was done that could be done, what was that exactly? Alright, guys, that's the video for today. As always, I am Sin Almanera. I'm no one important. You shouldn't watch my channel. I've got nothing unlocked. I have not played ranked in a minute now. In a decent minute now. See, there we got Harley again. There I did not do good. No, senor. If you can tell from my last couple of videos, where most of mine were wins, well, it's not too bad, but I have been struggling to get back into the rhythm of things. Alright, guys, that was the video for today. I hope it's not too much of a ramble. I will take a look at it. I'll catch you guys the next time, and I hope you enjoyed it.